Okay, so this will be the beginning video of the Subaru build part 2 for Peter's Scale Hobbies. His JD was it JTC? Yeah, Japanese tuner car build. I'm used to saying JDM, but yeah. Before we get rolling with that kind of stuff, we want to make mention that we got a really cool looking little shop card from our buddy David Chin from way out there in New York City, New York. A city that I have visited once and choose to try and get back to again sometime soon. But I love all the hand-drawn stuff on here. That's pretty slick. And, I mean, stuff's very recognizable. I mean, this is P-40 Warhawk right here. Of course, an X-Wing. That's a Colonial Viper. I'm guessing maybe a Mark II. And then we got the USS Discovery, because that actually has the NCC 1031 hull registry on there. So I was when I got the card, I was looking at it and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I recognize a lot of stuff on here that I would want to have in my stash, you know. But yeah, very cool, David. Thank you very much for the card. And I do fully agree with the sentiment on the back. Long live the Corvair. And if it weren't for the fact that we live in the desert, we'd probably have one today. I know they came from the factory with air conditioning units. Only a very small percentage of them did. And there are air conditioning systems you can retrofit these cars with, but they would probably cost almost half again as much as the car would. So Mrs. BG and I have talked about it at length in the past, and it's like, if we had the opportunity to have a classic car, we probably wouldn't be able to do the travel that we do today. So I'm not going to sacrifice the travel that we have today to have something in the garage that we would barely use. So with that all said, I share too much. Let's move on to the car. We got the body reprimed, second coat of primer on her, and she's looking pretty good. Now here's the thing. With the TS50 blue, the mica blue, there's a lot in that paint to make it shiny and to have the mica and all that kind of stuff. So it's got a lot of stuff in there to probably thin it out and make it so that it shoots through the can nozzle, you know, easily enough. So we're thinking that that paint's a little bit on the hot side. With the license plate holders that we had tested on the other day, we did a couple of heavy coats of primer, and then we went over it with the TS50, and it looks good. It looks great. So I went ahead and shot the, there's these little covers that go over the fog lights. So I went ahead and shot those. And you notice that has more of a grainy type of texture to them. So what we're thinking is going on is that we didn't have a heavy enough coat of primer on here, and we shot a little bit too heavy of a coat of color. And that's kind of eaten through the primer itself and sort of attacked the plastic. So I mean, that's definitely a possibility of what's going on. So because of that, we want to make absolutely certain that this guy, gal, or whatever we've been referring it to, is properly protected, so we don't have that type of issue when we go to spray the color. So some areas like up here on the scoop. Where's BG at? There he is. Some areas like up here on the scoop, and then up along the roof line and stuff where we had sanded and it was a little bit on the thin side. I'm thinking that we might want to do another wet sand and then do at least one more coat of primer, so that we don't have the issue that we had with the fog light covers. So we're going to protect the body as best we can with that, and we'll let you know how that goes. We did mask off and paint the interior rear seat. This is rubber black, and that's just regular matte black. What's that, TS6 or something like that? So yeah, it looks great. I'm liking it so much I can't speak. I like the color differential. This is a little bit of a bluer color, which is great because the car's blue, so that kind of carries through a little bit. And then now what we got to do is mask, so we can paint the center of the seats XF8, and then here is the front seats. Camera's having a little trouble. Let's give us neutral background. There we go. So you can see the little ribbing that's on the shoulders there. That's also down on the hip area. Those are freaking me out because I didn't realize those were molded into the seat. So when I was spraying the color on there, I saw it start to reveal those areas, and I was like, oh my God, the paint's starting to crack and shrink and stuff. So I set it aside, and then I went on to go do something else. When I came back and checked it to see how bad it was, I was like, oh, that's a pattern that's down inside the seat. Okay, all right. So we got to mask all that off and then paint the center section the same color blue. And then our door cards, did those in rubber black as well. And then these areas here, right in there, boop, 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 right there. That's going to be blue, and then we're going to do the speakers in like a semi-gloss black, and then the door handles will be probably some sort of silver of some sort, possibly Sharpie. So that's the plan for that. And we did spend 2 hours yesterday masking off the chassis, and I sent a picture of it to my friend James over at Scale Model Experiment. I'm like, 2 hours, and he goes, now you feel my pain, bro. I was like, yeah, yep. But I do have a picture of that I will insert right here. But yeah, 2 hours, man, and my eyes hurt after that. So, so the plan now is we have these areas here, the underside of the engine, the frame, and some of the plastic bits up in the front, and then the drivetrain in the back. That's all going to remain black. And then the exhaust system, all the way up in there, that's going to be silver or some metallic. It's going to be some sort of silver color. And then we'll be able to pull tape, and that'll be like Christmas Day, I hope, on that. Now, what we're planning to do for the exhaust system is possibly, we'll see how this shoots, dark aluminum, or which is from the dark side of the Force, or some metallic burnt iron, as Bugs Bunny used to say. Maybe one of those two. Maybe we'll use this as a little bit of a tinting, like up towards the front of the exhaust system here, some heat staining perhaps. We'll see how it goes. Inspiration has struck, and now we need to follow along and see where she leads us. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and sign off now, and we'll talk to you a little bit later on. Bye. So we are back from the paint booth after doing the extra masking that we wanted to do to keep the black spots black. We sprayed it with our dark aluminum, and then gave it a couple seconds, and then we went back and then just lightly did the forward area of the exhaust system, and then a couple of areas like in the catalytic converter and a couple of the bends and stuff with a little bit of the burnt iron. And I like it. I like it a lot. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm thinking about, after removing all of the masking, going back and probably brush painting some of the heat shields, maybe like a titanium silver, titanium gold, or some jazz like that. I think that might look kind of cool. And then if we can, maybe a little bit of heat staining with some Tamiya powders. I have some of the heat staining powders. I'm still practicing with those. They are very, very light, so you have to really go heavy with them, and then I don't want to do too much of it. So, you know, excuse me, my goodness. You know how it goes. So we're going to pull tape and see how it turned out. And after 25 minutes of pulling tape, ta-da, we're done. I still have some touch-ups to do right around in that area there, and there's a thin spot in the black paint down inside there, so we're going to see if we can't address that. Also, down around where the exhaust down tube is, going to do a little bit of black painting there too, but otherwise that went really, really well. I got some more touch-ups to do back here because there's a couple places I masked and I shouldn't have masked, but and then I went back and double-checked the instructions after I got all done doing all the stuff and realized I shouldn't have masked these. They said to leave these, to paint these black, and I masked them, so, you know, it is what it is now, so I like it. I haven't done masking like that in forever, if at all. But I don't mind it. I like that a lot. So I might do that again on another one of these types of kits. Lots of detail down there. But now that that's all mostly taken care of, we can get on with the seats. We have those taped up. And I'm still working on the door cards. Got those outlined, and then we'll mask off the bulk of the area. But what's kicking my butt right now is the fact that I'm tired. My legs are tired, and I just started working on the rear seats. That'll probably be tomorrow. So, you know, it is what it is. It's mega hot here. There's fires to the east of us. It's messing with allergies and asthma. So, you know, summertime in Arizona. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in again. And I think we'll wrap it up for this installment. Everything else that you see will be part of part 3. All right, bye.